hit you guys with another flex because this video is an extension of yesterday's video. Again, the jacked meta is undefeated. It's not undefeated. I've lost already, but it's a very strong meta using just jacked characters and just abusing your health and all of that. It's a very strong meta. But I go up against, in these games, I go up against an Android meta and the Ginyu Force team, which unironically, the Ginyu Force team is a very strong team because you could use Ginyu to steal a high DP character from them and you'll have a full team along with a high DP character. But I explain a little more why the Ginyu Force is actually a really good team. And I go up against an Android player. I go over how I get over the Android player and why the Android archetype is actually probably the strongest archetype of character in this game, because their grabs are so strong and their grabs just change the way you play the game and how a lot of people play the game. And if you could change your opponent's playstyle, that is very, very, very strong. And again, which is why the Android archetype is really strong. Second form Cell is like very, very strong. I'm going to do a character spotlight on second form Cell soon, but in today's video, I am doing a character spotlight on the drink, Trunks. And he is part of the buff meta because I use his buff form too. You know, I transform into him. He has a lot of utility. I talk about his utility in the character spotlight. So again, this video is not only gameplay analysis, but also a character spotlight. And it is very meta because I was able to find an Android player and use Trunks against him. Anyway, if you learned something, enjoy the video, like and subscribe. Have a good day, you guys. Okay, so here I am analyzing the drink character spotlight on Trunks. I'm just gonna rate him right out the gate because I've already played a few games with him and he used to be on my main team, so I know melee Trunks pretty well, the ins and outs of him. But my overall rating on him in the meta is maybe an A+. Now the reason why I say he's A+ and not S tier is because he is a 5 DP character who cannot transform to a 7 DP character. If you're going to use a 4 or a 5 DP character on your team, I really recommend that he could transform to a 7 DP character. The reason being is because if you go up against a giant player or you go up against a player who's using like Z Broly, Super Broly, Kale, someone who has super armor, you need a 7 DP character to hard counter them. Now, of course, you could still win without using a 7 DP character against giants and Broly archetype, but it's just much easier if you have a 7 DP character. So yeah, A+ for Trunks. If they buff his transformation to be a 7 DP character who could break through super armor, that would be great. But since he can't, that's just unfortunate. So, first thing I like to do when I'm testing out a character is check their combo pattern. So, XY. Oh, I really love that. I really love that. First one being a gut punch. XY. Ki. Not bad. I like that. I like this Ki because it's a 360 Ki. If he vanishes behind you, the Ki will hit him. And since it's early in the combo, it's early enough to catch, let's say if you guys clash and he vanishes. And then it's early enough for me to hit the Ki and be able to hit his vanish so he can't punish me. Right? So Ki. Let's see what his third one is. Gut punch again. That's great. Flying kicks. I wish gut punch was his fourth one and flying kicks was his third one. Flying kicks has some utility in that the only way to block flying kicks is to block high. And like I said in previous videos, most of the time you should be either blocking low or neutral. Many of the offensive options are either low or neutral, and many of the punishing offensive options, the ones that will really open you up and do a lot of damage, are either neutral or low. Blocking high is not really that common. So the utility of flying kicks is that it will open them up because almost nobody blocks high. But you gotta be quick with it because if you even have a small delay, your combo will drop, right? Or it doesn't drop, but they could block. So if you hit someone with flying kicks, you have to mash. You have to be ready for it. But just know that if you do use flying kicks, it's easy to open them up, but since the attacks are so fast and there's a lot of them, it's very easy to super counter as well. So overall, I really love Trunks' moveset. I would say it's S tier. His not his moveset, his combo pattern. I would say this combo pattern for my playstyle is S tier. Okay, now let's look at Trunks' Ki Blast game. The importance of checking out his Ki Blast is to check out how good he is at zoning. And if he is good at it, then that will determine if he is a good character from distance or a good character up close. Just looking at how his combo pattern was, usually the characters who are really good up close are the ones who have a gut punch very early on in their combo. So you could already tell what type of character Trunks is, right? He can only shoot very few Ki Blasts at a time. He can't really spam it that hard, which sucks. And his Ki Blast, his charged Ki Blast, isn't the most accurate. This Ki Blast misses a lot. And the reason why a charged Ki Blast is important, yeah, you can see how it's missing. The reason why charged Ki Blasts are important is because that's how you open someone up from distance, right? So I gave an example last video. I'll give you guys an example again. You know, I don't have a problem going over topics again. This is really important, so take notes, right? Charge Ki Blast, dash at them. And that's why your Ki Blast type is really important as a character, and it determines how you should play him. Since Trunks has a really inaccurate Ki Blast, and not to mention the recovery animation from this, like it takes a long time to recover from this. And dude, it disappears after a certain distance, so it's really bad from range. And yeah, this won't close the distance at all. And if you do a raw Z-burst dash, you'll probably get punished with the perception, unless you're able to somehow take his back, or you're just catching him when he's trying to do something. But Trunks is not a good distance character. He is a more in-your-face character, and yeah, we could tell just from his combo pattern. Now, to show how he's a great in-your-face character, let's look at his perception move. Come on, attack me. Nope. Nope. I should be vanishing those. Damn. Okay, come on, attack me. Attack me. Yeah. Gut punch perception. Yep, look how easy I can do this loop. Okay, you guys get the point. Gut punch perception is another advantage for these really in-your-face, close-distance characters. Just being able to use the gut punch all the time is really good. And the reason why gut punch perception is so good is because if you're able to get the perception off and they hit you, and you get the gut punch off, that you can't vanish that. You can vanish a regular gut punch, but you can't vanish the perception gut punch. So you're gonna have to eat that gut punch. And that's why having a perception gut punch is so valuable. It is so good. Does that mean all of your characters need a perception gut punch? No, there are certain characters that, where you do not want a perception gut punch, such as against after image strike characters. Okay, let's look at his extension. His heavy attack extension is a gut punch, so that's great again. I love that. Okay, let's look at Trunks' skills now. He has Explosive Wave and Wild Sense. If you didn't know, what Wild Sense does is if you activate it and I get hit, it will teleport me behind him and knock him back. Yep, like that. Wild Sense has a lot of utility. It is a very good move. In the higher ranks, it is easily countered because people know what they're doing, but if you're a lower rank player, you could almost entirely depend on Wild Sense and rank up like that. But just know in the higher ranks, people know how to counter it. How you counter it? Well, Bojack doesn't have Wild Sense, but how you counter it is just attack twice, vanish. Your attack will trigger Wild Sense. It will teleport Wild Sense behind you, and then your own vanish, will dodge his attack, and then you can punish him really easily like that. So Wild Sense in the higher ranks does have a high risk. Now, talking about risks and not wanting to risk things, Trunks has Explosive Wave, right? Explosive Wave is a good combo breaker. Let's say I'm in this engagement. Oh, I can't get a super counter off. Why can't I get a super counter off? Come on, continue engaging me. Oh my gosh. Continue engaging me. Okay, oh my god, I can't get a super counter off. CPU does not do a combo, so I'm just gonna get him off of me. Imagine you can't get a super counter off. He takes your back. You just can't get a super counter off. Use Explosive Wave. It's if anything, it's better than super counter because then you're not forced into a vanish war. You just knock him back and then restart the engagement. A lot of people use Explosive Wave incorrectly, right? They'll use. Let me show you how people use Explosive Wave. Look at him. He's approaching me, right? Well, a lot of people do. If he would approach me, that would be great. Approach me. Approach me. Right? That's what people do. To avoid getting approached, they use Explosive Wave, and that's a waste because the engagement hasn't even started, right? Explosive Wave should be used to save yourself from losing an engagement, right? And even further from that, even if you lose the engagement, you could still get a counter off through super countering or even super perception. Explosive Wave should be kept in the back pocket for those times where you can't get a super counter off, where you can't get a super perception off. And then if you're able to save 5 skill points, you have 2 of those free. If you're able to get a super counter off, super perception off, and then have Explosive Wave in the back pocket, the opponent probably can't touch you. It's a very, very strong tool. But if you use it to avoid being engaged in the first place, you're kind of wasting it because it's supposed to be a combo breaker, or I believe the best way to use it is as a combo breaker, not a keep off of me tool, not a I want to avoid engagement type of tool. Oh, I also forgot to mention Trunks' Ki Blast, since it's one of those like multiple Ki Blast type of moves and it comes out very quickly. It is very strong up close. Like imagine I take his back. Just look at the damage I'm doing. This is insane damage. This is comical. Look at that, 12k damage off of a few Ki Bars and a few Ki Blasts. So yeah, that could be kind of cheesy, especially if you go into instant sparking. Okay, so done analyzing base Trunks. Let's analyze Super Saiyan Trunks. I'm gonna try to speed run through this because I don't want to keep repeating myself. So again, first thing that's important is checking his combo pattern. And a lot of people tell me, oh, you could just go into the menu and check his combo patterns, like if you go into controls. This right here, rush chain actions. This is where you could see his pattern. But the reason why I don't really do that or don't care to do that is because this only takes a few seconds to do. And this is when I start building muscle memory, right? If I want to play a character, it's best I start building muscle memory right away. I can't just look at like a sheet of what the character does and be able to, apply that right away. Doing this is where the muscle memory starts. So I'm not a really big fan of Super Saiyan Trunks. When I played melee Trunks as a main, I never really transformed into Super Saiyan Trunks, but let's analyze them anyway. So 1 attack, flying kicks, not bad. Like I said earlier, flying kicks has utility. It is easily super countered though, but it is a very good open up. You just have to be very quick. Mash your button if you're gonna do a flying kicks. Gut punch as the second move. I like that. Okay, Ki as his third move. Not too good. Usually, Ki as your second attack is probably the best because the utility of this Ki, especially this Ki, is to stop people from trying to punish you with vanish behind your back. And gut punch again as his fourth move. Not bad. I give his combo pattern an A+, maybe even a low S tier. So Super Saiyan Trunks has the same Ki Blast archetype as base Trunks. So, yep. But instead, he does more damage. He does way more damage. Like, look at this. Insane. Maybe that's why they didn't give him a 7 DP transformation, because that would be insanely broken. I wonder if it's more accurate when he transforms though. So let's compare again melee Trunks' Ki Blasts. You can see how they're missing a lot, or like it's really just not hitting him. I'm gonna try, yeah. And the recovery on it is insane. I can't really dash right after. Yeah, you can see how it completely missed. Very bad at range. Okay, it missed the first try. Yeah, you can see how like the recovery animation on it is so slow. I can't even do a Z-burst dash. Jeez, it's so slow. Okay, yeah, it's pretty inaccurate. Never mind, it's still very inaccurate. Here's some Trunks tech you could probably use and abuse in game. Like imagine if I had full Ki, or just more Ki in general, right? And I hit him with a gut punch perception. He has to deflect those or block them, you know? And if he's not blocking, which a lot of people mash and they don't block, this is so much damage. Just hit them with a charged Ki Blast and it does so much damage. Once they start blocking and realizing what's going on, they're probably gonna be like, oh crap, I took too much damage already. Even base Trunks does so much damage, look at this. And then you can just force them to block and try to open them up from there. Hit them with the gut punch again. Oh my god, 10,000 damage is insane. Maybe that's why they didn't give him the 7 DP transformation, oh my gosh. Okay, let's go back to analyzing Super Saiyan Trunks. I don't really do that in my matches because I'm not really thinking of my Ki Blasts. during my matches. I'm a very in-your-face, throw hands type of player. I would do it if I remember to, but that's some tech for you guys to abuse during your matches. Okay, let's check out his skills now. He has Explosive Wave. I told you guys about the utility of Explosive Wave and how you should be using it. Right, Combo Breaker. Oh, you could also counter Explosive Wave with Revenge Counter. So thank you to the CPU for reminding me. So if you know someone's trying to switch with Explosive Wave, use a Revenge Counter to keep him in the engagement. Again, as I always say in these videos, Revenge Countering is to keep yourself in the engagement. So whenever you see someone is using something or doing something that keeps you out of an engagement, use Revenge Countering to prevent him from switching or setting something up. So Explosive Wave, when they hit you with a Sonic Sway, when they knock you back, all of those are opportunities for you to take advantage of Revenge Countering and stop them from switching or setting something up. But yeah, I go on a lot of tangents, sorry. I have a lot of general tips for you guys. But Explosive Wave, yes, and Finish Sign.
Pay for this.
Finish Sign sucks, dude. I wish I think I talk about it later in the video or during my analysis. I really wish they buffed a few things. Like, people are so focused on what's it called? On nerfing things, but buffing a few things is so good. Like, if you could buff Finish Sign costs 3 skill points. That's insane. 3 skill points in this game will get you instant sparking and the same buffs. At the very least, give my boy some extra key bars, like with High Tension. If you use High Tension, I'll use Arbon for example, right? He has High Tension. Look, I gained 2 free key bars from that, and the same buffs. Why don't I get the same thing with Finish Sign? It costs 3 skill points as well. Buff the buff moves, you know, like, don't just nerf after Image Strike. Don't just nerf everything. Buff some things. Like, there's a lot of things that need buffs. So Finish Sign, not the best. You know, like I explained how you should use these buff moves. First, let's check what Finish Sign specifically does, for Chunks at least. Sometimes for specific characters, these buff moves are special for specific characters. Okay, melee attack, Ki Blast Power, and Blast Power increase for 15 seconds. So it's not bad. 15 seconds is not bad. It's great. I think it also increases your charging rate. So look at that. Now let's look at it. Yeah, you charge a little faster. That's not bad. Let's compare the damage now. I didn't compare the damage in the last game, how much the buff gives. Okay. 2850. 3084. So that's basic, a little over 200 damage, which is good. It's a good buff. Let's compare his Ki Blasts, right? So 3 Ki Blasts is 1173. Okay, 100 more damage with the Ki Blasts. All these little things, they do add up in damage. So it's good to use this buff if you're close to finishing your opponent. That way you could finish them before they could switch. And let me show you guys how I usually set up my buff moves in the rare occasion that I use them, right? Let's say I hit him with a gut punch. Oops. Hit him with a gut punch. Oops, I am trash. Hit him with a gut punch. 3rd time's the charm. And then I could immediately start using my buff. Right? Let's say, well, first let me show you this again. Let's say I just do a step in instead. Use my gut punch.
You'll pay for this.
Yep. Let's say I do a low sweep. Use my gut punch. Use my Finish Sign. Yeah, okay. Now, another way to do it. There's several ways. I'm just showing you how I like to do it and how I think the best way to use it is of course, he has a Perception Gut Punch. Okay, so as you know, Chunks has a Perception Gut Punch. Dude, okay, there you go. I can use that to set up my Finish Sign. Again, Finish Sign would be great if it gave 2 key bars like High Tension does. But I can't stress enough, they really need to buff these buff moves. Like, they cost way too much and give the same things other moves have. Like, how is Instant Sparking gonna give the same buffs but also give you Sparking Mode? Way past max key. You know, like High Tension only gives 2 key bars. That's just crazy to me. So let's look at Chunks' Perception move, which of course we all know it's a gut punch. And his step-in move, again, gut punch. So he's a very in-your-face character with these kinds of moves. You want to be comboing your opponent. Another thing with Trunks' transformation, it's not like other transformations where you gain full key bar. So that sucks. That's the thing about the Saiyan transformations. You don't gain a full key bar. Let's check out his ultimate. Comes out pretty quick, so that'll be hard to vanish. But it'll be hard to get his ultimate off because he doesn't have instant sparking, so that sucks.
Time to end this once and for all.
So Super Saiyan Trunks overall, since he loses Wild Sense and gains Finish Sign instead, I do not like that. You know, he is a very cool character. He does a little more damage than Base Trunks, but I would say Base Trunks is a little better because he has all the same tools and a little more, right? It would be cool if you could manage to pull this off in a match with Super Saiyan Trunks. Insane damage, just spamming Ki Blast. It really doesn't cost much, and it does so much damage. It's insane. Oh my god, look at this. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. Okay, let's check out Buff Trunks now.
This is my true power.
He gains no ki from it, so and it costs 2 skill points to transform into a DP character that is equal to his Super Saiyan. So not the best transformation. He does his character archetype does change a little bit, so that's great. But I really wish this was a 7 DP character so it could break through all the super armor archetypes. But he does have explosive wave. He does have instant sparking, and his ultimate is pretty easy to set up, just low sweep, super explosive wave. I do think this isn't that hard to vanish, but if you're in the lower ranks, it's fine. It's easy. It's a good move. So his supers, all his forms have 3 key bar supers, so I'm not a big fan of that. But he does lose his rush supers. His base form has a rush super, his Super Saiyan form has a rush super, so those have a lot of utility. But having 2 supers, 2 beam supers, or ball supers, I don't know, isn't the best.
Take this!
And they both come out at the same time, at the same speed too, so that's not good. The utility of having 2 supers, one could do more damage, so you could use one of them to try and follow up after a combo, and then one could travel faster. So Majin Vegeta is a good example of that. Majin Vegeta has Big Bang Attack, where it travels slowly but does more damage. You can use that to follow up a combo. And then he has a Final Impact or whatever it's called. That comes out very quickly, but travels very slowly. The utility of having a super that comes out very quickly. Like imagine my super comes out quickly and he's about to go instant spark. Oh, you're about to go instant spark? Eat this super. It comes out quickly, I'm able to punish you. But since Trunks' super, both of them comes out very slowly, no utility in using them to punish. And they both do the same damage. What's the point? They both literally do the same damage. It's so useless. So he sucks with his supers, but his archetype of character is not to use his supers. His archetype of character is to just hit them with gut punches, set up your ultimate. Boom, easy. Whoa, low sweep missed. Yep, he's an ulti spamming archetype. There's a reason why he looks like Broly. Too bad his ulti is not unblockable. Not the greatest ultimate. Still good, very easy to set up, especially if you're in his face. So it's still good. I think the best thing to do with Trunks and his instant sparking. Let me show you an example. Let's say, well, first I didn't go over his combo. So let's first, well, let me just set up. That way it's more congruent. Okay, gut punch. Set up instant sparking. This is his utility in instant sparking. Just spam this all day. You know, if you're able to get his back. Oh, since his step-in move is a rolling hammer, you can take his back and start doing this. Right? So, like, people are obsessed with using their ultimate. You don't have to use your ultimate instant sparking. Some people have lots of utility in instant sparking without using their ultimate. For example, Trunks. If you see he's in kill range and you want to hit him with just one move that'll kill him, you could use your ultimate. But if you want to dish out crazy damage, use instant sparking and spam his charged ki blast behind while you have his back. Right? So let me show you an example of how to get his back. Right? Let's say you manage to get him block here. Right? Just step in, rolling hammer. Do this stupid crap. It's so dumb. Well, the angle just got messed up here, but look how much damage I'm doing from full health. Right? If I don't use my ultimate, I have a full ki gauge. I have ki advantage over them. I can start comboing them. That's Trunks is really good. I think if they made him a 7 DP character, he would definitely be within the top meta and one of the most used characters, or maybe a really underrated character people don't know about. But like I said earlier, since he is only 6 DP, I cannot put him S tier. But everything else about him, almost everything else about him, is very, very, very strong. Okay, so before we get into the gameplays, the last thing I want to show you guys is his combo pattern, which is probably the first thing I do when checking out a character, is his combo pattern. Let's see his perception first. Oh my gosh. Come on, CPU. Gut punch perception, his step in, rolling hammer. Right, so it changes from his base form and his Super Saiyan form. I like gut punch a little more because if you hit them with a step in gut punch, you have a second to think about what you want to do. But with this, you can take their back easily, right? So I'm able to set up sparking with gut punch there, and I'm abusing this. All right, so this is a very cheap tactic that a lot of people do not take advantage of. Now let's check Buff Trunks' combo pattern. Gut punch, rolling hammer. Oops, I'm trapped. Ki, gut punch. I like that. That's not bad. So first hit being gut punch. Even if his step in is not a gut punch, at the very least you could get a gut punch very soon after, right? So I prefer having a step in as gut punch, but it's okay. And then his second hit being rolling hammer, that's good too. You know, you can take his back very, very, very soon. And then Ki being third is not bad. And then let's say you mash and mess up your combo, at least you have another gut punch coming for you. Just don't get super countered. But anyway, I think that's it for the analysis or character spotlight for Trunks. If there's another character spotlight you want to see me do, if you comment it, I'm gonna try to do a spotlight on every character in the cast. But if you comment a character you want to see, I'll try to do them sooner. Anyway, enjoy the video. Enjoy me using the drink. If you learned something, like and subscribe. Have a good day, you guys. So here I am, analyzing how the drink, Trunks, destroyed the androids and the Ginyu Force. If you didn't know, the drink is a meme reference to Trunks. If you just type in YouTube the drink, you'll see why. There's no reason to call him the drink other than it's just a meme. The song is kind of funny. But first game against an android player, he is using second form Cell. Second form Cell is an android. Cell is an android, if you didn't know. Yeah, the thing with second form Cell, you have to watch for the low sweeps, you have to watch for the gut punch, because if you don't, you're going to get grabbed, and his grab is untechable. Untechable meaning you can't deflect it, you have to take it if it hits you, you know? So to watch for those gut punches, you have to either vanish them, super counter them somehow, sidestep them if he fully charges it. There's other ways, but that's how I try to deal with it in this game, and I don't do well. He manages to get a lot of grabs off on me. Yep, there's a low sweep, there's a gut punch. I have to take it now, and look how much health he has. Like, he's able to survive because of this. And look how much more health he gains from getting this super off. Like, this playstyle has frustrated me, and that's why usually I vanish those supers. But right now, it's getting to my head. I'm like, oh man, I did a lot of damage to him, but he gained all his health back. This is insane. Second form Cell is easily one of the best characters in the game, and I don't know why more people don't use him. He is rather cheap. It is very easy to just gut punch and grab. Yep, look at that. Does it again. He should have just went for a grab there. He's trying to mix it up. He probably thinks I have like a response to it. I don't. If your opponent doesn't have a response to like some cheap tactic you're using, just do it over and over. You know? It's their fault for not being able to adapt. Like, this is my fault for not being able to vanish his gut punches, for not being able to vanish his low sweeps, for blocking low all the time and getting hit by gut punches that aren't even fully charged. But yeah, Trunks is actually a hard counter to this playstyle. Anybody with Explosive Wave is a counter to this playstyle, because Explosive Wave could be treated as a combo breaker. So if you mess up, you could save yourself from getting grabbed by just using Explosive Wave. So Trunks has both Explosive Wave and Wild Sense, which I don't know why I don't take advantage of that. It's because I'm stupid. But anyway, Roshi counters Solar Flare because it's a built-in mechanic that he has sunglasses, and because he's wearing sunglasses, Solar Flare has no effect on him. So either this guy didn't know that, or he just muscle memory took over and he just used Solar Flare on Master Roshi. And yeah, I'm being stupid right now. I should really switch Trunks back in. He has Explosive Wave. If I get put back into that loop, then I'll be safe. I could stop it. Trunks is a really good counter to second form Cell. Anybody with Explosive Wave is, really. Explosive Wave would be a good counter against me too, because I like to put people in loops. Second form Cell just has a really easy loop to do. You know, Gut Punch, grab, Z-Burst dash, Gut Punch again, grab, repeat. If the guy can't vanish your Gut Punch or block your Gut Punch, then that's on them. But this guy my opponent made a bad decision and let me finish his second form Cell. Clearly his second form Cell was his best character, because Android 19 is not a big issue for me. He does not have an untechable grab. As you can see, I was able to deflect his grab there. With Android, against Android players, all you have to do is hone in on your block button, because they love using Ki Blast and they love grabbing. Yep, I was not looking for the grab there, so that's my fault. I have to always be looking for the grab. And that's the thing with this Android meta, and that's why I think the Android meta is the strongest meta, because it forces people to change their playstyle, right? Unless they're really good at looking for grabs in general, or looking for vanishes in general, Android players force people to stop hyper-focusing on super countering. They start focusing on looking for the grabs. They start looking for the heavy attacks. They start deflecting Ki Blasts. Android meta is the strongest meta in the game. But since I'm playing the drink, I'm safe. I'll be fine. I transform to buff Trunks. He has instant sparking and explosive wave. So if he gets me in a combo, I'll be okay. I have 5 skill points right here. I'm confident. I don't need to switch out Trunks, even if I have low health. I have explosive wave. You get me in a combo, I'll be fine. Except if you grab me. I don't want to be grabbed. The reason why the Android grabs or the Cell grabs are so strong is not because it does a lot of damage, but it also gives them health. So that's a massive disparity that they're creating. Like, just imagine you get robbed, and then the robber not only gains the money you gain, but someone paid him to rob you. So he gained a lot of money from that. It's the same situation with this the Android grabs. It creates a larger disparity. So technically, he is doing a lot of damage in terms of what's going on in the momentum. He is gaining health and taking health away from you. So that is again why Androids are the strongest meta in the game. If you can manage to get a grab off, it is massive. And because you're going to be forcing your opponent to look for the grabs, it is going to change their playstyle. You can see how it's changing my playstyle. I have to keep looking for the grabs. I am missing opportunities to open them up because of the grab. A really good Android player will probably destroy me. I revenge counter to try and stay in the engagement. I don't want him to switch out. He uses perception to continue knocking me back. I should have used another revenge counter, but he probably would have used perception again to continue knocking me back. So he counters my revenge counter, gets his switch off anyway. He is using Raccoon. It seems his game plan is to stall. But I think he's using a 4-man team, because second form Cell is 5 DP, Android 19 is 4, so that's 9. Raccoon is 3. You could have a 5-man team actually. So this will be 12 so far from what I've seen. You could put on like a 2 DP character and Hercule, unless his 4th character is a 3 DP character. So that's DP character knowledge is very important, right? You have to know whether or not you have a character advantage by remembering people's how much they cost in terms of DP. Like you can see, I just did the math in my head. So far, he has shown me as 12 DP on his team. I don't know if he has a 4-character team or a 5-character team. And that's definitely something they need to add to DP Battle, is being able to see your opponent's team. That way you could start building your strat right away. If you see he has a stalling type of team, then you could start working towards countering the stall meta. And how you do that is instant spark, throw your ulties, combo the hell out of him. Or if you see he has a full team of like freaking Cell Juniors or whatever, you could work towards countering that. A team full of giants. But I guess part of the fun is figuring it out.
This new threat cell is the reason to become even
Okay,
stronger.
I won the first game because he let me off his cell, and then he let me do a lot of damage to his Android 19. He got a little greedy, you know. I feel like Android players, they get a little greedy because they're confident in the grab healing them when it heals, but it doesn't heal as much as switching. So it's better to just switch, especially when you get to low health. And that's what makes second form Cell even stronger. He doesn't need to switch all the time, and he could switch if he wants to. And then if you can't get a grab off, you could transform and gain some of your health back. So that's insane. Well, actually, I don't know if he gains health back from transforming to Perfect Cell. So someone in the comments would have to tell me. I'm not sure. I will do a character spotlight on second form Cell very soon, because I think he is maybe top 5 characters in DP battle. Hits me with the solar flare. I switch out. Yup. He could hit me with another solar flare here, and if he does, I have to deal with it. I have to eat it. Yep, he does it. He's smart. He knows. Since I can't switch my character, I have to deal with it. You could kind of see what's going on. It's hard though, but he opens me up, gets a grab off onto me. Let's see if he does it again. Nope, he messes up. He messes up. He could have put me in a loop so badly because I'm not really responding to his gut punches. He has to take advantage of it. Oh, and Super Perception is another way to counter the gut punches. Super Perception is probably the easiest way to do it. Again, Solar Flare does not work on Master Roshi. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go back and add in a text saying Super Perception is a way to counter the gut punches. Although you need 1 skill point for it. Yep. Buff Roshi grabbing nothing again when I want to dash. That's why I don't like using Buff Roshi. He just feels so clunky. He does not feel good at all. And he does so little damage. And he descends as he's in the air. That messes with the camera angle. Like, Buff Roshi is just not a good character in my opinion. Anytime I'm faced up against a Buff Roshi, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm going to destroy this character. He does have a good perception. A perception gut punch is really good no matter what the character. So, yeah. If you're able to get perceptions off, even if you're using Buff Roshi, who I deem to be a really bad character, he's still strong because of that. Okay, Android 19. He's comboing me. He didn't go for a grab. You could see my button inputs. You see I'm mashing the block button because I'm trying to look for the grabs. You see how it's changing my defensive playstyle. No offense to this guy, but if he improved a little bit, he'd probably destroy me, you know. But instead, he's dropping a lot of his opportunities because he doesn't know. I don't know why he's dropping a lot of opportunities, but androids. Whenever I'm up against an android player, it changes my playstyle pretty badly. Look, I'm mashing block more often than I'm mashing super counter. It still pays off because I block low. I block his low sweep. I don't know where he's trying to go. Oh, he's probably ascending to try and switch his character. But he gets me with a grab there, even though I'm mashing block, because I'm trying to go back and forth between super counter and deflecting stuff. So when you don't go for a grab for a long time as an android player, maybe they'll stop going for the deflect and go back to super countering. And then if you could get even 1 grab off, that's a massive payoff. I use super counter. Well, not super counter. Revenge counter to keep him in the engagement. Yep, and it pays off. He couldn't knock me back. Revenge counter kept me in the engagement. He engages with me. I win the engagement. And I down his Android 19. Again, I gotta repeat it. Revenge countering to keep yourself in the engagement. Only when they knock you back. Do not do it in the middle of a combo. Well, you could revenge counter Cell's gut punch, but it costs 2 skill points to do that. You can just do a super perception for 1 skill point. Right there, I should have done a super perception. I don't know what's up with me in these 2 matches where I do not do super perceptions. It's because I'm too busy looking for the vanish instead of just simply super perceptioning it. I literally have 3 skill points. He got a gut punch off there, but he doesn't capitalize with a grab. But sometimes maybe it's best that you just combo straight up instead of trying to grab all the time. He's doing that whole loop. It could do a lot of damage, but well, at this point he should be doing the loop, because if he could land 3 loops on me, he'd be back into like green health with that. Little Vanish War. He has key advantage. I win anyway because he drops the Vanish battle. When you have key advantage over someone, you really should not lose your Vanish battles. If you lose them, that's just no good. So when you have key advantage, if you're the type to charge your key a lot, you better be good at vanishing as well, because the whole point of having lots of key is not to spam your super. It shouldn't be to spam your super. It should be so in case if they get a super counter off, you win the Vanish battle. Having lots of key basically nullifies the effects of super countering. How I play extremely aggressively. I don't really manage my key too much, and I just eat the super counter damage. It's not a big problem to me. Or the damage that comes with losing a Vanish battle. Like, I lose almost all my Vanish battles. I don't care, because you could re-engage with me. I'm confident in my ability to take back that engagement. So you can see throughout my gameplays and almost all my videos, I lose all my Vanish battles, they re-engage with me, and I end up winning the re-engagement. And that's mainly due to understanding defense and understanding his options offensively, which is what I try to go over in these analysis videos. Sometimes I'm not the best at verbalizing them. Sometimes I go on a tangent, but that's okay. This isn't like a whole lecture. We're just chilling here, you know, and I'm just trying to point out some holes in the gameplay. Our super counter right away, that was nice. I should work on a switch here, but I don't want him switching, so I use a revenge counter to, again, keep in the engagement. I don't think I was trying too hard at the end because I knew time was up. I won the game already. And there it is. I was able to deal with the Android meta, even though it was annoying and really changing things up. What I could have done better there is I tunnel visioned on deflecting grabs and vanishing too hard, when the simple solution was just to use a super perception. Even though it costs 1 skill point, super perception is really strong, because it'll force him to stop doing that, and then he has to start doing something else. He has to change it around. He has to start doing side steps, and then I could catch his side steps as well. So massive mistake on my part, tunnel visioning on one thing. But here I am going against another Z ranker. He is using a full team of Ginyu Force. I have the drink. The drink stopped the Ginyu Force. He's putting the moves on my chunks with Captain Ginyu. I'm able to stop one of his engagements with Explosive Wave. I hit him with the Gut Punch Perception. He vanishes my low sweep. Really nice. So now I know he's a pretty good player if he's vanishing my low sweep right off the gate. You know, in the beginning of the game, you're vanishing my low sweep, you're vanishing my attacks already without really seeing my gameplay. I'm vanishing his attacks too, because I'm not a very low skilled player. I consider myself a high skilled player in the most humble way possible. But since I see he's doing the same thing, I have to be more careful. Okay, Captain Ginyu self-harming. And as soon as you see that, you already know he's probably going for instant spark. He's tunnel visioning on instant sparking because he wants my Nappa. I say, okay, you want my Nappa? Here's Spopovich. Try taking Spopovich's body, it's fine. He does a revenge counter out of desperation. Revenge countering is not good as a combo breaker, but he does it out of desperation. I understand why, because he wanted to try to get his ulti off. If he does, it's very difficult to vanish his ulti, and his ulti is unblockable. So it's actually pretty easy to get a body switch off with Ginyu. If you're a Ginyu player, I recommend getting a body switch off as soon as you can, especially if you're going up against a higher DP character. Don't save it for when you have low health. If both of you are healthy, you can force a 1v1, and both of you guys can't do supers or use skills, and you can't switch. The body switch forces you guys to do a 1v1 hands only. If you're confident in your boxing skills, then play Captain Ginyu and switch bodies immediately as soon as you can. I think his mistake there was waiting for when he was low health. It was easy for me to catch him tunnel visioning on trying to get his ultimate off. So like I said, if you're a Captain Ginyu player and you're going against someone who is a high DP character or even a mid DP character, just forcing the 1v1 and forcing the boxing match and taking away the switch mechanic, that is very strong, and you could gain character advantage like that. Or even stall out the match, because you can't switch out your character either, so eventually you'll lose your character. So Ginyu is the ultimate stalling character if you could get your ultimate off. Anyway, I went on a massive Ginyu glazing right there. Didn't really analyze what happened between me and Birder, but it's fine. You guys are smart enough at this point to understand what's going on. Go against Rikum. Rikum is one of those tanky characters. He doesn't really need to use his skill points. So, when you go against characters that don't really need to use their skill points, they will probably spam Perception a lot. I'm not sure if this guy spams Perception, but that's what I do, and what I notice a lot of other people do. The reason why people spam Perception a lot with these more tanky characters who don't care to use their skill points is because they want to take advantage of Super Perception. Super Perception is a better skill than like False Courage or maybe even Rikum's Instant Sparking. There it is, Revenge Counter. Not good as a combo breaker, but he gets the switch off in my face. Well, I don't want to say Super Perception is better than Instant Sparking. Specifically, using Super Perception as a Raccoon player or as a tanky character player, it pays off more. Okay, Revenge Counter in the middle of a combo. Again, another desperate Revenge Counter. I don't blame him for it, but I'd rather mash Super Counter. Especially since he was in Sparking mode. If he got a quote-unquote lucky Super Counter off, he could have forced a Vanish War, win the Vanish War, and then switch his character out. He would have won because he was in Sparking mode. But it depends, because if I had skill points, maybe I could have avoided him winning by using a Revenge Counter. So there's many things you could do in all these different kinds of situations to try to save your character. Revenge countering is probably like the very last option you should use. And in that situation with Birder, he had so many options still. So I don't think Revenge countering was the move. I transformed to buff Trunks. I wish they buffed his transformation. Trunks would be a much better character if his buff Trunks was a 7 DP character. And the reason being is because when you're using these like 4 DP characters, 5 DP characters, the most important thing about them is that they should be able to transform to a 7 DP character. Because a 7 DP character can break through super armor, they can break through Z-Broly super armor, Super Broly super armor, Halo's super armor, Giant character super armor, and you're spending a lot of points on a 4 DP character, 5 DP character. So they should be good enough to the point where they could counter those metas. But since Trunks costs 5 DP and can't transform to a 7 DP character, he might be an overall really good character, but that one weakness is what's keeping him from being really, really meta. But you can see that one combo I did, and it started lagging really hard. You'll notice, this guy, he lags when, the game starts lagging when, I don't want to accuse him of lag switching, but the game starts lagging during crucial moments. Not all the time, very, very few times though. But it's only during my combo, and it's a very like specific type of lag. The lagging looks extremely odd. Like, you know, when you lag in a game, it jumps randomly. This type of lagging, it's like a rhythmic type of jumping. It's weird, and it really threw me off that one combo. It doesn't happen often, but I'll point it out the next time it happens. Brings out Raccoon. Putting his Raccoon in the reset blender. I don't know why my combo dropped there. You can see my inputs. Maybe my combo dropped because I'm just being stupid. But now that I have a controller overlay, you can see the glitch when my combo drops and I'm mashing the button and the combo just stops working for some reason. But I win the game. Let's see if he adapts to my gameplay in the second game. So I think the biggest takeaway from his gameplay is that he uses a lot of heavy attacks. I could vanish those and punish him really easily. And his Captain Ginyu, his game plan with Captain Ginyu is to try and switch bodies with me when he gets low health, which is, like I said earlier, a strategy I do not agree with. I think you should work towards a switch as soon as possible.
I'll take care of this.
Just force them to box with you, stall the game out a little bit if you can, and yeah. Yep, you can see he goes for the heavy attacks. Yep. As soon as I see a low sweep, I vanished it, punish him. So not only when you vanish attacks, not only should you be looking for the vanish, of course, you should have really fast reactions because you can punish them right away. If you do not attack them right away, you miss your opportunity to punish them. You just simply vanish their attack, and then you guys have to re-engage. But if you vanish their attack, you have to be super vigilant and mash your attack button. Like right there, I vanished one of his attacks and was ready to punish him. But he gets a super counter off, puts me in the vanish chain blender. Super perception off on me. Jace has massive key advantage on me right now. That super comes out so quickly. I was not able to vanish that. Some supers in the game are harder to vanish than others because they come out so quickly. So maybe you could choose your characters based off of that if you're someone who loves supers. Like a lot of people who love supers, they use characters that have terrible supers, and I could vanish them so easily, and it's just a waste of ki. If you're someone who loves spamming supers, you have to find characters that are good at using their supers. Okay, Raccoon versus Raccoon. I'm not vanishing his heavy attacks, but it's fine. I don't know if he just tried to hit me with the Z-burst dash tech that I do. I know a lot of people who I play against, they start doing it when I start doing it. Or they start doing it after a while of seeing me doing it. So it's funny. Sometimes it feels like they're mocking me when they do that. It's funny. So here I am doing it myself. I reset him. Low sweep, reset again. You look at this. It lags. It lags during my combo. And it stops as soon as I drop. And it has only happened during my combo. Well, that was the second time it happened. The first time it happened during my combo. Second time it happened during my combo again. And you can see it's a very weird type of lag. It doesn't look like a normal connectivity issue. It's like the frames drop really hard suddenly. I'm not scared of Goldo, but Goldo does have an unblockable ultimate. Like that super came out really quickly. So if you could spam supers with Goldo, that's his whole forte is spamming supers. But here I'm probably gonna get hit by his ultimate because it's unblockable, and it has a wide range. So if he's in front of you and you could get your ultimate off, you probably got it off. Yeah, like that. I have to try to vanish this. I tried to time it, as you can see in my inputs. But I failed. I have to eat this damage. Luckily, it does not do that much damage. It's like 12k damage, I think. That's the only way Goldo is viable, by spamming his ultimate. Or that's the only way he could get a lot of damage off. But you can see I'm still vanishing his heavy attacks. I wasn't able to capitalize there, but hey, maybe I could, if I show him I'm vanishing all of it, then maybe he'll stop doing that. And if you could get your opponent to change his playstyle, like I said in the previous match with the Android players, if you could get your opponent to change their playstyle, that is massive. Yep, I vanish, and I punish him. And that's why I say my playstyle is easily punishable. It's not that great, but people just don't look for the vanish. People just look for super counters, when vanishing certain attacks is way easier than super countering them. And vanishing has a greater payoff. Super countering just leads to a vanish war. If you could vanish a heavy attack, you could punish them immediately, take their back, and combo them. And then, of course, you could get super countered, and then that's a whole issue, right? But here I am. I'm just teaching you guys to look for more than just a super counter. You gotta look for the vanishes. He gets his instant spark off. Let's see if I can finish him before he could get his ultimate off. Yep, I knew he was going for the low sweep. He knows I'm going for the overhead. Punishes me with his ultimate. Yep. And now I think he can get a switch off after this. You could do a quick recovery after his ultimate, by the way. and then if you can manage to hit him during your quick recovery dash, that would be great. But I failed to do it. You can see I attempted to do it, but you gotta switch off a lot quicker than I could hit him. Okay, I do the combo, False Courage plus Instant Sparking. If I use False Courage, then his Ki Blast won't be able to interrupt my Instant Sparking. He has to approach me, which he does. I force him to approach me, I get him in a combo, and I use my ultimate on him. So that combo, False Courage plus Instant Sparking, is a very strong combo, which I don't see a lot of people doing. And as someone, it's surprising that I know it and do it more often than people who love Instant Sparking, because I don't really use Instant Sparking. I'm giving the Instant Sparking lovers some tech here. If you use False Courage plus Instant Sparking, that is a massive, that's a free Instant Sparking right there. And then you could, or it's not free, you could force them to come to you and engage with you, and then you could bait them through that. Bait them, and then use your ultimate like I did there with Raccoon vs. Jace. Here's his birder. I think he has Ki advantage on me. Let's see if he messes this up. He does not. I try to keep in the engagement with Revenge Counter. He gets me with a knockback by countering my Revenge Counter. He uses Revenge Counter on my low sweep. Not a good choice in my opinion. Yep, he is saving his skill points, so I'm not scared to hit him with the heavy attacks, because Super Perception will counter the heavy attacks. But Birder has After Image, so I know he wants to save his skill points. He doesn't want to spam Perception.
No way you can beat me.
Hit him with the Sonic Sway. Switch. Did you hear that? He tried to go for Instant Sparking. Yeah, look at this lag. I think he's lag switching it because, like, it only happens when he's in a really bad situation. But it doesn't matter. It's a little too late. And that's why I don't know if he's lag switching it, because he does it when it's already a little too late. But then he probably doesn't want to be too obvious with it. You know? So if he does it in the beginning of the match and really messes me up, that'll be too obvious. So I don't know if he is lag switching it, because if he were really that salty, he'd probably use it to gain momentum early on. At this point, it lagged when there was like 30 seconds left. Yeah, I say the lagging is a little sus.
It doesn't lag often, but when it does, it spikes very hard on my combo.
Yeah.
Okay, let's run the third match.
So he rematches a third time, and this is when he decides to quit. I don't want to say it's a rage quit, because he quit before the match officially started, so maybe he didn't mean to click rematch and he doesn't want to rematch me again. So that's fair. I could respect that. Rage quitting, I would consider rage quitting to be when you're in a clear losing position and then you quit the match. So he just quit on me. He didn't rage quit on me. Anyway, if you learned something, like and subscribe. Have a good day, you guys.